What could be more nonsensical than this saying of Jesus? What could be more insensitive? Blessed are those who mourn. The word for blessed in Greek is most basically a word that means happy. Some dictionaries list blissful as a synonym for this word, for blessed. So how on earth can Jesus call mourners blessed? Mourners happy mourners? Really? Well, it's all a part of the Beatitudes, and we call them Beatitudes because it's taken from the Latin word for blessed, beatus, and these are the 8 or 9 opening sentences of the Sermon on the Mount, beginning with blessed. Blessed are the so-and-sos because theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So yesterday we had blessed are the poor in spirit. And in each of these Beatitudes, Jesus tells us who is blessed. And he tells us about the people who are blessed in the present because of a future promise. So in this beatitude, present mourners are blessed because there is a comfort that is coming. So what kind of mourning are we talking about here? Well, obviously, we're talking about the grief of losing loved ones. We might also be talking about grief over sin and that sort of thing. But let's just keep it to the very basic. Grief in the face of death. Do you know about mourning? Are you mourning now? Do you know that Christians are allowed to mourn? You know, when Moses died, the whole nation of Israel took 30 days off for these rituals of mourning. Aaron died, 30 days off for these rituals of mourning. And then the private mourning goes on for days and weeks and months afterwards. Job, in the Old Testament, he suffered great loss. And he tore his robes and he sat down in sackcloth and ashes and he bemoaned his state chapter after chapter after chapter. And the Lord, he approves of all that Job is doing. He disapproves of Job's friends who come along and say, Job, just pull yourself together. No, the Lord is on Job's side. Mourning is a Christian thing to do. Jesus mourns the death of his cousin John, and he takes time to come apart and grieve. So there is mourning in the kingdom, but it's mourning with hope. It's mourning in the light of a coming comfort. 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 13 says, we grieve, but not like those who have no hope. There is a coming comfort that does not end mourning, but it does transform it. Christ brings a kingdom that will right every wrong. It will, in the end. For now there's mourning, but it's blessed mourning now, because there is a coming hope. This hope enters into our mourning, the way that Christ enters into the valley of the shadow of death. You know, when Christ came into this world, he didn't just get rid of all darkness, he entered the darkness. And in that darkness, he was not beamed up out of suffering, and we won't be either. Jesus went through suffering and then into glory, and that is the path that we will tread. But one day, there will be comfort. All that is lost will be restored. All that has fallen into the furnace will come through it refined. All that has died will be raised. All that is sad will become untrue. And so in the light of that coming comfort, our mourning is still mourning, but it's blessed mourning. Paul speaks of it so powerfully in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 from verse 8. He says this, we are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. We always carry around in our body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be revealed in our body. For we who are alive are always being given over to death for Jesus' sake, so that his life may be revealed in our mortal body. So then death is at work in us, but life is at work in you. If you're mourning now, mourning over a death, mourning over a loss, mourning over a relationship, mourning over your sin, mourning over an opportunity that's gone, it's okay to mourn. It's okay to grieve your loss. Come to Jesus now. Come to Jesus right now. Pray to him. Cast your cares on him because he cares for you. And as you bring him your grief, hear him say to you, Blessed are you who mourn, for you will be comforted.